Where do you go to be seen by the right customers? I'm Ben with Building Business, and I've got Jim Aline here. We want to dive in on a few things. One, how do you position your brand? Let's talk about that first. Like the brand perception is so important. We talked a little bit in the previous episode actually about like how you name your company even tells customers what they're going to act like when they work with you, right?
Yes.
What are some of the top things that you should be thinking about in your brand and how it's presented?
Yeah, I think especially in naming, that's a big one, right? Like express what you do in the name of your company. I like to look at Google in relation to that because I'm looking at how many people are searching for this or that, right? When I'm naming my company. If I know a lot of companies like to be called exterior contractors. Not many people type that into Google.
And almost nobody knows what that is if you're not in the industry.
Exactly. Roofing companies that call themselves XYZ Restoration. Restoration is not a word that homeowners identify with roofing. They identify that with water mitigation and water, fire, and mold.
Wow,
right?
That's true.
Because of that, Google also identifies that. So if you type in restoration company near me, you'll see on Google what it thinks.
Yeah.
If you type in exterior remodeling company, you'll see what Google thinks. And Google has really identified the way that human psychology works, right? And so understanding that and naming your company in that regard.
But I mean, like, Ben's roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and doors,
Tough.
It's hard to do, right?
Yeah.
So that's, I think, why people shorten it.
That's right.
Should you go for more of a brand than, I mean, we're not telling people they need to rename their company necessarily, but if you have the ability to brand, you should be thinking about this. Should the brand be more of like Tri-State Contractor or something like that? Or do you want to be more specific on the main thing you do, like Tri-State Roofers or something?
So in regards to your services, I think that including your main, the service that you lead with in your name. So if you
the most common one people search you for.
That's right. The most common one people are finding you for.
Yeah.
Because a roofing company it's okay that they do siding. It's okay that they do windows in someone's eyes, right?
Yep.
They're not going to call an HVAC company for roofing.
Right, exactly.
Unless you're in Arizona, because there are HVAC companies that do
I've
roofing.
seen
But that's
all
Arizona.
kinds of,
because it's a different market, right?
Yeah,
because you need your AC and your roof in play. It's very it's a weird one. But that's
they do a lot of things different in Arizona. Let's just say that.
They can.
They
Yeah.
got a different climate,
That's
different
right. That's right.
architecture, everything.
So starting to lead with what is the service that I'm going to lead with? What is that? That would be the recommendation. Another thing is being memorable. Mm-hmm. I've had on my podcast Dustin Beegler from Apple Roofing.
Yeah,
when they were developing their brand, he talked about how they looked at everyone they're in Omaha, Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska area, and they looked around and they're like, everyone is like so and so roofing, and everyone is red and white.
Interesting.
Because
that's a very common color,
right?
Yeah.
Like that's the colors of Nebraska.
Yeah.
And so they went and they said, no, let's make it simple, right? Simple so someone can recognize it and remember it. Apple Roofing, simple, real simple. And let's make our colors bright green and red. Mm-hmm. And the bright green is what stands out. Next, it's identifiable.
Yeah, they look unique now.
They look unique, and it's those things that are unique. If you're driving down the road, you don't see the silver car, the white car, the black car, all of a sudden a bright yellow car drives by and you're like, whoa, what happened there? Right. So having those, thinking of your colors, thinking of your brand story. I had another person on the podcast that talked about this, and it was they named their company with something that was easily remembered and their service.
Yep.
And so that would probably be a way to do it. If you start getting too much into initials and names and things like that, names are good because it kind of can provide a statement of trust over time.
Now I'm going to make a caveat there, because if you have a name that's really hard to spell,
Yes.
and really hard to say, that may actually hurt you
Yes.
in the long run because people are trying to type you into search and they're putting it wrong and everything like that.
Definitely.
So,
That's a great thing.
I mean, the great thing about Apple, everybody knows how to spell it.
That's
you
right.
know?
And so making it simple. And if you can start that way, it's best. But if you have to make that brand change over time, you can.
Yeah.
There's, there are plenty of companies that have made
especially if you had the same colors and same
right.
logo design, but you had a different name.
Yep.
You can make it pretty smooth, even if you have a lot of brand awareness.
Definitely. And so we're talking about, we're making it descriptive of what our leading service is.
Mm-hmm.
We're making it simple for people to understand. Our colors stand out versus the competition. I think those are 3 key points there.
I mean, this is really about how to be seen by the right customer.
That's right.
So first it's like, well, how's your brand perceived?
Right.
And then the other side of the coin is, how do you go to where those customers are to reach them?
That's
it's like
right.
what your channels are.
Yeah. Where are you being seen?
Yep.
So where is your perfect customer? So if you are a commercial contracting company and your perfect customer is a property manager,
Yep.
right? Where does that property manager live online, hang out online?
Mm-hmm.
Where do they hang out outside of, in the real world, right? Like, so, is that person more on LinkedIn or on Facebook or on TikTok? Is that, where are they? Are they on Google? Are they searching actively on Google? I'll tell you right now, people don't search for commercial roofing contractors a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a relationship-based business. So are you at the local real estate meetup?
Exactly right. Yeah.
Right? Are you, where are you placing yourself?
And they're going to look for low-hanging fruit because they have so many things going on.
That's right.
I've seen a lot of people have success with master services agreements and that sort of thing, where they just go up to the owner and say, hey, look, you have any problems contracting-wise, we're the guys. We'll go sub it out if we need to, but just call us. Great. It gets put up on the paper on the little bulletin board, and that's who they call from there on out. They don't ever even do a search a lot of times because of that. Very smart.
Another good question is, how can I get on your vendor list?
Ooh, that's good. Yeah.
Right? Like in those situations, because that's once you get on the vendor list, then everyone in the office just calls that vendor list, right? So there's ways to do it. For the homeowner, where are they? If your perfect customer is someone in the suburbs, a family, a family-oriented person, they have children, what little league or soccer games are they at? What, where are those perfect customers?
Where do they commute? Because if they're coming from this suburb, they probably commute into downtown. So billboards on that road
the way
is going to be the ticket for those types of customers.
For sure. Where are they? So no matter what you're doing, it's very simple. It's been defined in radio and television a little bit more of hey, if they're watching this show, these are their demographics.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? On radio, this is the demographics of our listener. Mm-hmm. So you could choose the radio station if you wanted to do radio. Mm-hmm. You get to choose the radio station, but then you could also choose the show on the radio station that may have more of your demographic, more of your perfect customer listening.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, on the radio one, I've actually heard people say, when I go to homeowner's house, I sort of listen to what they're listening to on the radio at their house. Whatever was on when I knocked on the door, that's probably the program we want to go after if that was an ideal customer. It's they listen to so-and-so local guy every single morning. They love the morning show. That's where we want to be for that customer then.
That's it. There's so many great ways to do this. So many little hacks. What is it? It's called FORM, Family, Occupation, Recreation, Motivation, right? And so in a sales process, you're investigating that with your customers about their family. So you're learning, are they family oriented, or if they, the recreational things they do, the motivation that they have.
What do they do for a job?
Yeah,
occupation.
All of those things.
Yep.
What do they do for recreation? Are they, do they play sports? Do they go fishing? Do they go snowboarding? What are they? And now, if your perfect customer here in Utah is, going snowboarding every weekend, well, like you said, there's a billboard on the way up to Park City, right? Or they're
exactly right.
Great ideas.
Thanks so much for joining us. You've got to go to jobnimbus.com/building business now. We've got a bunch of resources there. There's tips and tricks. There's industry insights, and all of it is free. So go and check it out right away. Job Nimbus is the best software tool to get you more organized, more efficient, and frankly, to give you your life back so you can have some life balance as you run your business.
For more information about Roofer Marketers, go to roofermarketers.com and get a copy of our free book, The Best Known Roofer, the omnipresent framework for your roofing company.